Did you know that the Trump administration recently filed a ruling to help nonviolent felons get their gun rights back? This rulemaking by the Trump DOJ has kind of flown under the radar with a flurry of executive orders and excitement from the past few months in DC. Today, we're going to take a look at what this rule change does and how you can help its passage. Hi, I'm Ben, and you're watching the Minuteman Moment. But before we get into the video, I wanted to take a second to let you know about GOA's annual convention, Goals. The Gun Owners Advocacy and Leadership Summit is set to be held August 9th and 10th of this year in Knoxville, Tennessee. Come out and visit with some of your favorite manufacturers, participate in activism training, and hear from the top voices in the Second Amendment community. The best part? It's free for GOA members. So sign up today using the link in the description. Okay, now back to the video. On March 20th, 2025, the Trump Department of Justice published what's known as an interim final rule to the Federal Register. If you're a regular viewer of this channel, you're probably familiar with the rulemaking process. In fact, President Biden used it pretty frequently to ban pistol braces, eliminate 80% receivers, and implement universal background checks. All of those rules went through the same process, known as administrative rulemaking. This is how the executive branch creates regulations, although this time, the Trump administration's new rule is actually rolling back a regulation. Although this is an interim final rule, members of the public, such as yourself, still get the opportunity to express your views by submitting comments, but more on that later. The rule, entitled Withdrawing the Attorney General's Delegation of Authority, sets out to restore a process for nonviolent felons to get their gun rights back. Wait, restore? Like there was a process before, but it was taken away? What exactly happened? Well, in short, Senator Chuck Schumer happened. In 1992, Senator Schumer passed an amendment directing the ATF to permanently deny Second Amendment rights to those who had committed nonviolent crimes. The Schumer Amendment, as we call it, defunded the process of rights restoration at the ATF so that any federal worker at ATF was prohibited from processing any applications to restore Second Amendment rights. ATF has been prohibited for decades from expending federal funds to restore gun rights. This effectively denied those who had lost their Second Amendment rights the ability to seek restoration. To put it simply, imagine calling a customer service line. Since Senator Schumer has denied the funding to staff the phone line, the phone just keeps ringing for 32 years straight and nobody has answered. That is until now. In the past 32 years that the Schumer Amendment has been put in place, GOA has received numerous phone calls, emails, letters, and more from would-be gun owners asking to have their rights restored. And for years, there was nothing that could be done. But now, thanks to the Trump administration, Attorney General Pam Bondi, and the Department of Justice, untold thousands of people will have a process to have their rights restored and become gun owners. This proposed rulemaking represents a much-needed course correction at the Department of Justice. The Second Amendment is not a second-class right. Now, instead of the ATF handling the applications and being prohibited from taking action, the Department of Justice and Pam Bondi are going to process the applications. And the Schumer Amendment does not apply to the DOJ, only to the ATF. Now, while we support this process, we need to encourage the DOJ to keep doing the right thing. Also, it's a good opportunity to provide input on how the process to restore Second Amendment rights would work. This is where we need your help. Currently, the rule is open for public comment. This is where members of the public can leave comments for those at the Department of Justice to let them know what you think of this rule. By law, the Department of Justice has to read every single comment, so this is a great opportunity to let the DOJ know why you support this change. And if you're not a writer, don't worry. We've got a pre-written comment available for you to copy and paste right into the Federal Register comment. We'll leave the link to our pre-written comment in the description below. Now, we're urging the DOJ to move forward with implementing this rulemaking as soon as possible. And you should too. Now, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with GOA's latest fights for your rights.